who's here? Happy Sunday. I'm going to let a couple of seconds for people to pop in. How is everyone? Who's here? Hi, Remy. Yes, you are the first today. Who else is here? Who else is here tonight? Hello. Hi, Tracy. Howdy, Little Ridge Farm. I think this is the first time I see you on my live. Welcome. If it's not the first time, I'm so sorry. I sometimes forget names. How was everyone's week? Anything special happened this week? Anything crazy? Anything not fun you would like to share? Well, my week was definitely different. Hello, Blinda and Chuck. I hope you're having a good evening. I was saying something I forgot. Wait, so this week was pretty much uneventful for me. It was a bit different. Usually, I always have a focus towards the homestead and like doing homesteading chores and like doing my training. But this week, like since I got on Tuesday, I was out most of the day. And Monday I was so nervous, and Wednesday I had to catch up on everything. And like Thursday I was so focused on my online training. And Friday I did something crazy. I had a temporary pantry in the house because like we started a renovation of our house thinking we would be able to finish. But sadly during the holidays we were not able to finish. So I did not want to have a pantry in my living space, like in the like I had like these Costco shelves and they were literally right next to my door to walk in the house in the not the living room, the dining room. So I had something around the house, laying around the house, and I just like created this temporary inside the pantry shell where the pantry will be. It's just like the shelves and the drawers are not there. I just like put all of my stuff in the pantry. And now that is done, I will be able to finally film a pantry tour for the Three Rivers Homestead. I know I'm going to be a month late, but better late than never. So that was my project on Friday. I thought it was going to take me an hour, maybe two, but it took me all day. It was like an ongoing process, and it was a little bit more than I thought, but I'm so happy that it's all now in the location that my pantry is. It's not like pretty, but at least it's functional, and all my stuff is now mainly in there. Who did I miss? So I'm guessing that Little Ridge Farm is Mark because Blinda or Chuck called you Mark. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Johan. Did I miss anyone else? No. So that was my my week. And if you didn't catch the live I did on Thursday, I did something crazy on Tuesday. And I said I was out all day, and I showed it to you guys on Thursday, but whoever wasn't there, this is what I did. Wait, I hope you guys can see it. So I went and got this crazy thing, celebrating my healing journey and celebrating my 1K with my channel. Long time no see. I guess this is an inside joke. Remy, are the kids singing karaoke tonight? I saw somewhere that you had a weird weekend, but the comment went away. Where did it go? I wasn't present in the group chat, Remy, so I have no idea what happened. Yes, fresh ink. Like, I'm at the stage where it's peeling and all I want to do is scratch. So it's not painful. That part is done. But now the only thing I want to do is like I just want to scratch it. Awesome salad. I just re-sowed salad inside. I forgot to fertilize the lettuce I sowed before the holidays, and now it's like probably stunned. So I just re-sowed a lot of seeds. They're old seeds, so I just broadcasted it like almost half the package in a little container I had, and I'm hoping to harvest some mini salad greens like in a couple of weeks. Yes, I just saw that. The pantry challenge. I saw it quick, but I didn't really pick up what was the title. I didn't explain too much what happened. Give me a few extra beers. That's not fun. Someone insulted your kids. Yeah, poutine for breakfast, you know. Bacon and poutine makes it a breakfast poutine, right? Or you can do a regular poutine, then put like a sunny side up egg and bacon, so it becomes like this breakfast poutine. It sounds delicious, actually. Well, bacon on anything is almost delicious. Okay, so today I decided to do a Q&A live. So if you have questions for me, I'll answer them. Homestead relating, gardening related, or my journey to come like from where I came from and where I am. But before I do that, I just wanted to give you like some type of update for the Three Rivers Pantry Homestead Challenge. I am doing it January and February, and I haven't filmed any content towards that because I felt the only thing I was publishing on my channel was just that. So every single day I take out about 1 to 6 jars of my canned goods and either dehydrated or frozen stuff on a daily basis. So it's something I do normally, but I wanted also to venture out on with other content with you guys, since I only publish 2 videos a week. I want to give you a little bit of how I feel now that the month of January is almost done. I can't believe I'm saying that. The month of January is almost done. It goes by so fast. If you haven't done it, do the thumbs up for me. That helps me a lot. 1 to 10, how do I rate my 1 month in pantry challenge? I would say that I give myself about 5, 6. I probably could have done much more. I did go for pre-made snacks at the grocery store. I could have probably made a lot of snacks at home, but being so focused on my online training and everything I have to do during the day, I cut myself a little bit of some slack, and like I do partially the snacks and I complete, but then I started analyzing my bills. Like, technically doing this pantry challenge is supposed to help you out cutting off your grocery bill because you're mainly using what you have home. But because of the cost of everything going up, I feel that it's not really making a difference. I'm ending up paying about the same thing, but for less. So now going in the month of February, I really want to push myself further and do more snacks. So obviously dairy, I will never ever be able to do my own dairy. Well, for the moment, I don't have dairy animals and I don't have access to fresh milk. So dairy will remain on my February list. And snacks, I'm going to go for yogurt, obviously, some fresh fruits, fresh vegetables for the kids. And I'll try to use up as much as I can the stuff I have home. But on a positive side, my sourdough starter is now active. It's alive. I've been working on that starter, I think, right after Christmas or right after New Year. So it's been at least a month to 6 weeks. And I went through so much emotions trying to revive my sourdough starter hope that I almost gave up. And then yesterday, Friday almost doubled. And then Saturday, it doubled. So I was like, oh my God, after all this hard work. So I did my first recipes today. So that means now I can venture into snacks for the kids, include all of that now in my daily snacks, their daily snacks. Like today I did bagels and sourdough, what do you call it? Cinnamon buns. And I read comment and I lost sidetrack what I wanted to say. So I want to find snacks that I can do with the sourdough so that the kids can have like 50% my stuff, 50% from the store. But I'm so happy, and I'm going to film a video about this, of like all the emotions, all the tricks, and all the things I've tried, what failed, what worked. I'll share all of that. Don't worry, because it's like almost a sitcom to revive my sourdough. I sent a message to Lynn from Bucket List Homestead, and I was like, oh my God, it's alive. I've been working so hard. She actually has hope that is now Phoenix, and she was able to revive it like real fast. And I think she's been baking with hers for about 2-3 weeks now, and I was still struggling feeding it twice a day. So I had a lot of discard. So I also have now a big variety of recipes that I can use discard. So all of this was not failure, because now I have a lot of recipes I can try with the discard, and now I'm going to venture with new recipes with the actual starter. 11:15 a.m. for me. It wasn't okay. So you were like brunching, almost lunching. I am about on 3 on the pantry challenge. I cannot see anyone being interested in watching me heat up canned stew and such. But that's what I thought. There are some videos that I just said I reheated a soup, because that's what I was eating, and that was what's on the menu. Or leftovers. Sometimes I have like leftover mashed potatoes, and I just open a can of hamburger meat I had cooked, and what else? Corn. And that's what I did this weekend. So I had leftover mashed potatoes, and I forgot to film it. I should have filmed it, because I was flipping a leftover mashed potatoes I had into a small portion shepherd's pie. And now that's going to be the lunch for my kids for Mondays and Tuesday. For Monday of this week and Tuesday of this week. Thank you. It was an event. Yes, I made my own starter from scratch. So I used the Melissa K. Norris way of starting my own starter. She's from the Women Pioneer Academy or something like that. She had it was in one of her books. And then I did some recipes with it, and I played around with it, and then I put it in the fridge for an entire summer, and then I revived it during the fall. And then I wasn't really active doing it, but then I started following Ballerina Farm, and I started getting interested. Venison for dinner also had some easy recipes I wanted to try, so I revived it, tried the boule, really loved it. Tried making bagels. It was really good. And then Whispering Willow Farm had a online training that was a $50 US dollars investment, and I had access for life. And she adds more knowledge to it on a regularly new recipes, and it's like really short videos. I love it. It was a good investment. And she showed me how to use my starter like different way. Like I was feeding it a different way, and I was not having the results I wanted. So my starter was not very active. It was bubbly, but it was not like really alive. And then after following that course, I felt more confident in the way that now I feed my starter. It's like much more where it needs to be. I'm guessing you shared my live. If that's the case, really thank you. Pickle beets. um Frozen fruits is hard. If I give fruits for my kids that are frozen, they're going to be thawed out by midday, and they're not going to like that. My favorite frozen fruit to eat is mangoes. I buy the one at Costco, the organic ones, and I just let them thaw out like maybe like 5 minutes, and then like I love just chewing on those. And what's the other fruit that I love? My frozen black raspberries. I'm also running out of those. I love doing smoothies with those. Thank you. So now that that is said, going into February, like I've done the math of all of my invoices of the month of January. I really want to organize my recipe book because I have like this Bible of sourdough and this Bible of like my daily recipes that I use regularly. And I reorganized it, and I'm looking for like older recipes I haven't done in a while and see if I can use up my canned goods or frozen good or dehydrated good differently this year. So that's like I'm in the process of like meal planning with older recipes or going for inspiration online for new recipes. I'm not using as much tomato sauce as I used to do. So I need to find a different way to use it up other than spaghetti sauce. We eat spaghetti almost, I would say, once a week, once every 2 weeks. But that's one of the canned goods that I have that I'm looking for different ways to use it. I used to use it for cabbage rolls. I used to eat this like so often. You take a Savoy cabbage, you blanch the leaves, and then you put a raw filling, which is any type of hamburger meat you enjoy, salt, pepper, onions, garlic, spices you enjoy, a bit of rice, and you would make an egg. I know I'm forgetting something. And then like you make these pates, and then you roll them in the Savoy cabbage leaves, and you put that in a dish, like a Dutch oven, and then you mix in there 1 quart of tomato sauce, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning, and a bit of sugar. You mix all of that together, and then you dump that on your cabbage rolls, and you bake it in the oven for a certain amount of time. I think it's 2 to 4 hours, and if it's slow cooked, I think it's 6 to 8 hours, and then you just have like this meal. But my kids are not fond of it, so I haven't done it in a while. I used to do that at least once a month. So I have to find other ways to use up my sauce. Unless like I did last year, whatever was left over in sauce, diced tomatoes, tomato juice. I just made this humongous batch of spaghetti sauce with meat, and I just canned it. That's what I did in the early, I think in May or June. I can't remember because I needed space, and I needed some space for my freezer, and I needed, there was something else I needed. It was frozen vegetables left over from last year, so I needed to pass those. I said that. I took notes because like I keep forgetting what I want to say. I will film in the month of February the challenge. But I'm not sure now how. Because you guys in a community tab, I did mention that you enjoy that I do live during the mornings on Thursdays. Had about 10 or 12 votes. And if I continue doing that, that means it's going to be 1 video a week and 2 lives a week. Or I would do shorter videos, 2 videos and then 2 lives. If I do shorter videos, I might be able to sneak in like a couple of ideas that I did during the week. Manicotti. What's manicotti again? Isn't that a type of pasta? I know I have it. Now that I said pasta, I know I have to film the discard sourdough pasta I made. My dad's been requesting that video ever since I made my first spaghetti linguinis. So I know I have to do that. Okay, so last question I have for you guys before I let you guys let you guys ask me questions. In the upcoming weeks, help me out just a little. I have a lot of inspiration for content, but since I'm filming for you guys, is there specific things you would like to see? Like it is seed starting season soon, gardening, designing, that's coming up. What type of specific content you would like to see on the channel so that I can write all of those ideas and film it for you guys if it's possible. Now that I said all of that, if anyone wants to join me answering questions, you're more than welcome. I can either put the link here in the comments or I did share it in our community group if you're interested. Yes, I said snacks. Who does not love snacks? Mostly cheese stuff. Okay, now you're getting me curious. Hello, Ren's, Homestead, Jack and Lindsay. Manicotti. Oh yeah, it's a type of pasta. Okay. Ricotta stuffed pasta rolls with tomato sauce and cheese. Okay. I got the message loud and clear. I just look at this and I'm like, I want to lick the screen. Okay. Okay. Manicotti. Ooh, okay, so there's a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm taking this down as notes. Okay, that's a good suggestion. So it's Jack that's here. Snacks, like just to give you an example, today I made some cinnamon buns. I did a banana bread recipe. It's a loaf. And I put it in my pan of mini donuts. So it becomes banana donuts. I should say beignet. Those are the snacks I baked today. Yes, chips is definitely one of like my favorite snacks. I haven't yet found a way to make my own. Maybe I did use my potatoes from the garden. I had like a mandolin on my cheese grater and I put it in the air fryer. And I added salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and we put it in the air fryer. It was not as crispy, but it was good. How much seed do you plant compared to what you want to grow total? Like if you want 100 tomato plants, how much seeds would you plant? That it depends. Like that's like a question that can be answered very it all depends. One, it depends how old your seeds are. The older you are, the more seeds I would plant. Or was that, oh, that's content. Would you like me to answer now? Or you want me to write it down for future videos? I don't know, to be honest. Shed Wars. I'm hoping for at least £1,000, but I don't want to put too much pressure since I'm doing this not for the competition, but for the experience and the knowledge. But I would be happy with 1,000, 1,200 pounds. Ooh, nice. I'm guessing it's Indian Pale Ale you're drinking, Dave. Duck jerky is pretty good. Quack snacks. I haven't done jerky. I have the Excalibur and the dehydrator, and I think I can do jerky, but I've never ventured with that. I cut the mashed potato squash a couple of days ago. It was good raw, and I might. Ooh, nice. Hello, Angie and Mike. Okay, so you want a video on it. Okay, so let me take a picture of that question. So I don't forget it. Okay. Next. Dave is the only one I know who is doing lagers. The chilling requirement for lagers makes it hard. Okay, so I've written it down. Well, I took a picture, so that's a good video to answer. A good video subject. What about questions? Do I have any questions? I know that you guys have a delay, so I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna do this week. Since I am venturing in the sourdough, I'm gonna try to get my sourdough as bubbly and as active as possible. So that means I'm gonna be doing at least one recipe a day with that, and also I would like to include on a daily basis at least 30 minutes to an hour of my online training. I am almost done planning how many seeds I'm going to grow and like all of that, and then I have to switch it up. Like everything is on a piece of paper, and then I have to add it to my agenda. And after that, it's almost seed starting season. It's crazy. How to do trips when you are busy? Well, the answer is simple. I can't do trips. I don't have anyone to farmstead. No one, well, homestead, babysit, I don't know why you want to call it. I am not even able to get a babysitter for 4 hours, so I have no idea how I would do that. Just bottled 54 bottles today, drinking Indian Pale Ale right now. Yes, I do grow strawberries. I have 3 varieties. I have Kent, which is from Vizzy Seeds. I have the Alpine Red. I'm not sure it's going to survive because I forgot to transplant it before the frost. I also started from seeds, Yellow Alpine. I have a 4th one. I forgot the name. That one is an experience. The one with the red flower. I want to sell those. Like every year we have 2 times during the year that I can have a table in front of my house. And I would like to get the runners from those mate plants and just sell them. And I have a fifth variety, but I have no idea. Like, it's mixed, like there's 5 and 6 mixed together. One is everbearing and the other one is early. They were given to me, but when I started, I was really new to strawberries. I just thought there was one type. I didn't know there was everbearing. I did not know there was one in early, mid, and late summer. So now I have like this area in the garden that I always have to go check because it's everbearing mixed with early. Content. Your prep video and audition video for Shedwurst. Cling with. Okay, hold on. That's many ideas. Juggling being a lone homesteader, mother, wife, etc. I don't have an answer to that. I just do it. Nice. I love some a strong Indian Pale Ale. It's an acquired taste for sure. Indian Pale Ale, especially the strong ones, are acquired taste. I didn't like them for a long time. Now I love them. I just add dextrose and let ferment. Nice. That is like my number one fear, to have beer making in the house. And even water kefir. Water kefir is a type of ferment, and I had a bottle pop, and some of the liquid like, but it didn't explode on me. But there was a lot of fermentation, and it got me thinking, if I do something wrong with beer, it would be in my basement, and it would explode, and you would think a bomb would explode in our house, but it wouldn't be the case. But still, it would terrify me probably. We were doing that before, but washing the bottle is a pain in the beep beep beep. Also, explosive bottles is something to think about. Yes, that's what I just said. Might end up doing wine before I do beer, because if I am honest, I do enjoy beer, but I am a wine drinker. And also, there's types of hard liquor I enjoy on ice. I like everbearing strawberries. Trouble is they become garden snacks too, since harvest is a few. Yeah, that's everbearing is, I would say, the variety of for garden snacks. That's why I converted to the Kent variety. I think that one's an early one. And last year I had 74 plants or 65 plants. I can't remember. I had a little bit over 50, and the runners will go on this year. So that means I'll be able to transplant them in a raised bed garden where I can protect them and be able to eat them, because the rock trick did not work. So I had some red rocks around all the garden of the strawberries to make sure that the birds would smash their beaks against the rocks. And then when the strawberries came out, they wouldn't eat them. But between the kids, my kids' friends that came here, and the birds, I think I had like 5, 6 strawberries. The alpine yellow strawberries are everbearing, and for a reason the birds didn't know what to do with it, so I was able to eat a lot of those. So I'm hoping that the red alpines I got on sale last year, they're able to recuperate, since they're in a little container right now on my balcony in front of my house. If they do recuperate, I'm hoping to have like alpine. They're little strawberries, and they taste well. They taste really good. Yes, Jack. Okay, that's not for me. Endoscarbonized tablets, and I have never gotten that far. My last batch tasted like wet carbo. That's not good. That's not good. It's like you really, really want chips, salty chips, and you get like this cucumber taste in your mouth. Kenzie has a question to Annie. When did you move to your current house and how long do you plan on staying? My current home, I moved 5 years ago, December 3rd, in the middle of a very, very cold front. It was really cold the day we moved. And how long do I plan on staying? That is I don't know. My husband would like to retire and move towards Quebec, like an hour past Quebec City, near the ocean. But some of our kids are not too fond of it, so I don't know. But he does know that he wants to retire there, and he's pretty close to his retirement. 12 years, 12, 13 years to his retirement. But I never know what the cards have for me, because if I can replace some of his income with everything I'm doing, well, then maybe more options will be available to us. But at the moment, I don't know. 1 cup in 20. Okay, that's not for me. And we chose the house that we're living in because it was like part for the kids because we're in the village near the school, and I had access to 1/3 of an acre. So 1/3 of an acre it seems small, but from the videos I do, you guys must see how much food I grow. Everything's stacked together very close, but it is doable on a small scale. I mean, on small land. I would love to have an acre. If anyone here is looking for property and looking to start small, in the aspect of thinking they're going to get a little bit more every year, I would at least go with half an acre, but an acre would be preferable because you would be able to do much more. I can't have an orchard. I can't have 5 apple trees. I can't have any trees. I can't. And tapping my own trees would be fun for maple syrup. Having 4 or 5 maple syrup would be nice because with 2 and not even taking care of our water that comes out of our trees, we have almost 4 months worth of maple syrup. So if I had 5, 10, I would probably be able to be self-sufficient on maple syrup. I would be on an acre. I would be able to have bees, at least a couple of hives. That means I'll be able to be self-sufficient on honey. That would be nice to have. That's why I say minimum of half an acre would be what I've chosen if I know what I know now 5 years ago. But since I didn't know, we chose this house. Just making sure I didn't skip anyone. Is anyone starting seeds right now inside their house for trial, for fun, or for hike tunnels or anything? Thing about replacing some of his income, the garden is doing that. When you move, you'll be starting a new garden. There will be that I know. Here's the thing. The logistics of moving a family is nothing compared to the logistics of moving a ongoing homestead. That means moving. Do I leave my birds here? Do I sell my birds? And do I restart? Do I dismantle my high tunnel and bring it with me? Do I bring my chicken coop with me or I leave it here? Obviously, the chicken coop is way too heavy, so we're going to leave it here. But the logistic of moving mason jars, do you move them empty? Do you move them full? Do you move when your freezer is empty or do you move them when it's full? And there's no right or wrong answer. Obviously, with freezers, you want them to either be as empty as possible or like empty depending where you're moving, how far you're moving. But if I would move in February, like from December to February, that means the first thing I have to do when I arrive there is plow. And like my teeth would grind together because I would kill every single living organism in the soil and like build my soil for the next 5 years. Or skip a year if we move. So if I would move regardless of the time, that means I would skip an entire year. I would grow a garden for like fresh eating during the summer and then move at the end of the summer with nothing. That means no meat birds, no produce, canned, frozen, or anything. And I would skip almost 1 season to 1.5 seasons until I am established outside. I did see a property that I fell in love with that had an established garden, a market style garden, and it had a kiosk in front of the house. So it was a gardener that was on a large scale. He or she was selling garlic, green beans, and I can't remember what else. So it was an established market style garden. But you don't know, has the person put pesticide? Has the person neglected the soil? Has she used organic seed? No organic seed. It's all, regardless of what I'm doing, if I'm moving into an established garden, there's going to be work to be done. Either start from scratch or take an existing garden and converting it with my values. But it is a definite big move. There's also the what was her name? Living Tradition Homestead. The year that they decided to stop the rat race and move to the country, what she did is she went completely crazy, bought bulk garden, and she canned like crazy, so that instead of being for 12 months, it was up to 18 months for certain things. And the first year she got there, they worked on establishing the gardens, but didn't really sow anything and had to renovate their house for it to be like livable. So that's also a possibility. I could can like crazy the season before, put the house for sale, and then move filled jars and pray the entire time that I'm driving that none of the glass breaks. Even if they're empty, they could break in the move. Annie, I'm going to take care of my own garden bed this year, 2x8. Tomato, pepper, basil. Any advice on how to do a good job? Make sure that your garden bed is oriented south. And if you're using tomatoes that are indeterminate, to put them in a good place so that they don't shadow your peppers, because both of them really enjoy the heat. Basil, you can put it at the bottom of your tomato plants so that when they grow very, very, very tall, they shade out your basil. That means they're not going to go to seed. Make sure to use good spacing with your tomato plants so they don't touch each other. Because if one plant is thick, if it touches the next plant, you can pass the sickness to the other plant. Pruning is a good thing. What else I can give you? The best companion plants for pepper and tomatoes are basil, onions, So you could plant green onions with that. Make sure you remove the weeds. I know it sounds boring, but it's really important. Watering your tomato plants is very important because if they lack water, they cannot reach for the nutrients in the soil, and then you're going to have tomatoes that at the bottom part of the tomato, it's going to be black. That's called blossom end rot, and that's because they lacked water. I hope this answers your question. Good luck. There is a company I applied for that's called Teris, Teris. It's an online grossist, and they do deliver, but there's one in Laval and there's one somewhere else, and you can order bulk seed starting mix. All I had to do was answer a couple of questions. My application was approved, and I now have 3.8 cubic feet bags that we go pick up in Laval. The other one, where is Teris? There's a couple of locations of Teris. That's where now I get most of my soil for seed starting mix. What other location? Where are... I know there's a couple. One in Laval. They do ship. Shipping is expensive because of obviously it's per pound. But there's one in Laval. Where's the other one? I would have to play around with their website, but I know there's more than one. Okay, so there's one in Laval. There's one in Quebec. There's one in Saint-Rémy. There's one in Ancaster, Ontario. So I don't know if Quebec would be good for you. Mine usually, the one before I used to buy from there, only opened the beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March. So I had to buy a bag of soil at the end of the season and use that one before. Now, since I order from them, I make sure to order in January and pick it up end of January, which is good. Tempered. Oh, I did forget to say something, Kenzie. If you start your tomatoes from seed, make sure you have good lighting, in that you follow the instructions of the manufacturer of the light so that your plants don't get leggy. Tempted to plant kale inside, just not sure I want the extra 30 seconds. You're not supposed to water your plants every day. You're supposed to mimic the elements outside. So once it's a seedling, you can nurture it every couple of days. Once it's an actual plant, the more you treat it like it's outside, the better it is. So you don't have to water every day. You need to water it if the soil needs it. I received a 25 kilo of wheat grain. Will be nice. I was just talking about that in the group chat today. I want to introduce fodder in my in the feeding for probably my rabbits. I don't know if there's anything my rabbits can't eat, but for my chickens also. Because I can no longer afford organic feed, if I buy a 25 kilo bag of wheat, barley, or something else, and I can do fodder, that means I will bring the cost of my feed down, and I will be able to introduce organic feed. a different, like an organic complement to the feed. So the logistic behind that is if I bring down the consumption of the regular feed, at one point I will start saving, and I'm hoping doing that I will be able to convert to organic feed and like use less of it and complete it with fodder. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the feed that I'm paying now, but at least it would be organic. And fodder is somewhat like a little bit fermented, but then you let it sprout for a couple of days and then you feed it to it. Looks like grass, to be honest. Still growing lettuce, not starting until after the cold snap, mid-February. I have cut 10 cords of that. Nice. Carrots like tomatoes, but they don't like shade of the tomatoes. I've never planted carrots next to tomatoes. I read that they have to be timed very carefully to make sure that the carrot can actually is big enough or almost as big as it should be before you plant your tomatoes next to it. But then there's another site that like conflicted me and said something completely different. So I stopped sowing carrots near tomatoes. Every root vegetable has its own garden bed. And it's just that. Oh, nice. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Mama Can. Terrace. Yes, there's a terrace in Quebec. I love the planner. I ordered a planner from the website that you have, and I love it. I use it all the time. But for pots and other things like that. Okay, so Terrace has some pots. I don't know how much they are. I've never used it because I bought mine used. But I did see La Shop Agricole has some pots for sale. Some of them are 40 cents each. It is an investment, but the soil blocker would be an easier option price-wise. Have a good night. It's in Beauport. Quebec is still 5. Yeah, but the shipping from Montreal to your house would be a certain amount, and then the shipping from Quebec to your house would probably be cheaper. Yes, don't forget the thumbs up. Marila, we have a question for you. What beach is your little homestead by? I think she films on every Wednesday during the summer a beach near her house. St. Lawrence. So the beach is off the ocean, literally off the ocean. Sandy and salty. God, I miss the ocean. I miss the smell of the ocean. Okay. From what I'm learning in the Académie Patagère course I'm doing, if you're using companion planting, make sure that, let's just say, I don't know all of them by heart. Let's just say you're planting green onions with your tomatoes. You have to plant your green onion first and then make sure that they are established and advanced enough before you plant your tomatoes next to it, because both of them will be requesting nutrients to grow. So there is a logistics behind all of it, and I'm learning all of that right now. At first, I've been hesitating to take any payable online course, and I couldn't find anything in English, because since I share all the knowledge in English, it made sense for me to find an online training in English. But finding this one in French, it's a bit of a challenge because it's in centimeters and meters, and I work in inches and feet. And there are certain I would say certain expressions or certain words I know them in English, but I have to look for them in French. like kohlrabi. I did not know how you call kohlrabi in French, so I had to Google translate kohlrabi to find out what it was. So it's all these little details that I have to figure out. But if you're looking for instructions and you have the funds, or you're thinking of creating funds to educate yourself on growing your food, market style gardening, seriously, invest or put some money aside to invest, because you're going to grow differently with knowledge that's mainly never available online, or like if it is available, it's only like minimal, and you have to do trial and error to figure it out. That's what I've been doing for 5 years. Like, I've taken some advice left and right from experienced gardeners and what worked for them, and then I tried making it work for me. But then having an online training specifically designed for zone 4, zone 5, and especially for Quebec, because they're in Quebec, it makes all the difference. And then you get tips and tricks on how to make it even more efficient, which is incredible. Mama Can is also on Instagram. I try to watch her as much as I can. I think she's near Quebec City. I think so. Did I miss anyone? If you follow me on Instagram, maybe you saw this. If you don't and you didn't know I was on Instagram, it's Back to Basics Homestead QC. I am going to have something special in a couple of weeks. I planted in November. I should have written down, I didn't. Some Red Robin's tomato dwarf plants. And the description online said they can be in 6-inch pots. They could be neglected, grown inside under grow lights, and they would produce little tomatoes. I have about 5-6 tomatoes that's the size of like a little pinky finger. So maybe in a month, or like 2-3 weeks, a month, I'm gonna have my first indoor tomatoes. And if they taste good, that means every single year I will have to include at least 4 or 5 plants of those types of Red Robin, so I can grow tomatoes in the colder months and have some fresh food. What else did I sow? I sowed basil. They started popping up. I'm craving fresh herbs. Did I plant anything else? How do you say this in French? Wait, your tempting aunt is... Attends, your tempting aunt is spending your time too much. You have so many horse... There's words I don't even know in French. I don't even know what a horsefly is in French. Mouche à chevreuil. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe Remy can help me on this one. Attends, tu tentes ma tante. Tu passes trop de temps. Tu as une mouche à... I don't know what it is. Sur ta tante. Something like that. I just can't imagine your face the morning you will want to eat them and see. No, you know where I put them? They're in the back. They can't reach it. They haven't seen them yet, so. I have a feeling, Jack, you speak French a little, or you have knowledge of French, because there's a lot of ma tante and tante in that phrase. I'm loving the little micro-drove tomatoes plants I have growing. They'll think I'll have them every winter as well. So last year I grew a lot of micro tomatoes and dwarf tomatoes. And to be honest, they were very cute. They were lovely. But I kind of find it's a waste of garden space. So The only reason why I would have them in my garden is to be in those terracotta pots that I have on our outdoor kitchen table. I would put them there, or I am planning on putting a table near the garden. I would put one there, but then I have to remember to water it. I find that for what I'm trying to do here, dwarf tomatoes are better for inside because they're easier to handle, especially the micro ones. Like the red robin, the pot's about this big, and the tomato plant is like so compact, it's perfect for inside. I find that if you don't have the garden space nor the ways to put them up, dwarf and determinate tomatoes are ideal for a gardener. But definitely, if I can get a good tasting yellow and red tomato inside, I will grow a couple every single year. Because I bought yellow tomatoes, cherry tomatoes at the store. Usually they're delicious. And for the first time, I was so disappointed. So the only tomatoes I buy is the Savura ones at Costco and the Kumata at Costco. And those I've never been disappointed because they actually taste something. They're not exactly garden tomatoes taste-wise, but they're acceptable. So if I want a tomato sandwich during the winter, those are the two tomatoes I buy. But it would be lovely to have good tasting micro dwarf in the house. Someone did listen to a video on YouTube. What do you mean? Attends. Okay, so this is the actual translation. Attends ta tante. Passe ta de ton. You just Google translate it. Tu attends de temps dans ta tente. That what was I was thinking, a waste of space for your garden, but great to keep getting your plants care. Yeah, well, it all depends. I find that for my application, I find it's a waste of space because space here is precious. If I had an amazing tasting micro dwarf tomato that like to die for, I probably would invest a bit of garden space for it, but still. That's how I feel about the installation I have here. Ah, little Jack, trying to be funny with me. But do you speak French, Jack? Let's see if he speaks French. Trying to think if I forgot any questions I had, if I forgot any details. So you speak very little French. Ooh. Well, my first language is French. Avez-vous des bonnes recettes de dauphins? Do you have good recipes for dolphins? You want to eat dolphins? Well, you actually write every single word perfectly with S's, plural, and all that. So you have good knowledge of French. Going up with little questions. Did I forget anyone? Okay, so that's the actual video that he got the phrase from, right? Okay, so since I'm not having any more questions, what is the first seeds you're gonna sow this year? Dolphins. What will be the first seeds that you guys want to sow this year? Onions and leeks. onions. Did you order a new set of scene? Marilyn? Yes, Melissa. Melissa, I did. I think you weren't there when I shared it. It's finally alive. It took, I can't remember if it was before, I think it was between Christmas and New Year's or before, I don't know. So Friday, it almost doubled. Saturday, it doubled. And I did the recipe from Kate from Venison from Dinner. It's the master recipe. And then in the morning, after I did that recipe, so the levain part, and then I fed the starter again and then went to bed. And then this morning it doubled again, a little bit more. And then I did bagels. So during the day I finished the master recipe and ended up doing some cinnamon rolls. And just before that, I baked bagels. And I fed it after making the bagels. And just before the live, it was double. So that means I have to prepare another recipe tonight. Wheat. Yeah. Onions. Well, I am trying to utilize the tunnel this year. Technically, you can buy 2 to 4 weeks with the tunnel and some row covers. So I just sowed some green onions to be transplanted in my tunnel 4 weeks earlier than usual. I will see if I can get green onions earlier, and everything that can be sown multiple times during the season, at least 3 times, like 2-3 times, like beets, I'm going to try to grow a couple to see if I can grow under row covers and no heat at all. If I can grow a batch of turnips, beets, radishes, greens, green onions, all in small quantities, using up my older seeds because it is an experience. And then if whatever works, I'm going to document it the best I can, and then use that knowledge and do it for winter. And then whatever works, whatever doesn't work, I'm going to go through my notes again from the Académie Patagère, see whatever I did wrong, tweak, and then redo it again, because that means I can get food earlier. And if I can get food earlier, that means I can reorganize my garden and flip beds quite faster by doing that and grow even more food on my land. Nice. Onions and leeks. Woohoo! Nice. I don't know. I'm going to film this. It's going to be a blah blah video, and I'm going to show a little bit what I've done, but it was a nightmare. It's a sitcom, actually. Every single trick I tried and failed miserably, and then one day it just decided to do something. I don't know. And I've been doing my feeding regimen twice a day the same. It's okay. Now I'm not going to look back and say what I did wrong, because I don't know what I did wrong, but now it's active. So I'm going to keep like making it work, and then maybe put it in the fridge in a couple of days or week. I got a new seed starting setup to put together: 4 feet shelving unit, 4 leads, new growing trays, 4 feet heat mats, and a bunch of tubing. Where did the comment go? 4 feet heat mats and a bunch of tubing and a 5-gallon bucket to set up in these. Nice! That sounds like fun. Nice. Watering, if it can be automated, is cool. Well, I document a lot. I always take notes. But like during the high of the season, I kind of forget. And at the end of the season, I sit down and I try to write everything that I can remember. I never, ever experienced so much problems with my sourdough. Usually I would just feed it, but my house in the summer is way hotter. But this year we don't heat as much and everything is going up. So my house is barely at 20. Yes, Melissa, but I am planting for another lady too. Also, I wanted to try to seed them outdoors in autumn, but I didn't had any seed left, so I will be nice. I always end up not bothering with the heat mats, and they get stressed in the night, and when the fire dies down. My old setup had lights that put out enough warmth, LEDs or cold. I found, like, in the course that I'm following now, they talk about environment and stressed seedlings. So seedlings, like, when as soon as they germinate, they, since they're so young, they need the ideal conditions. If you don't give them the ideal conditions right away, they're going to be stressed out. Some will be super leggy, and some will die because, like, the conditions are not adequate. I think it's over 21 degrees Celsius for the seedlings. So if you only exclusively heat your house with wood burning stove, the heat mat would be good on colder nights to maintain the temperature at least over 21 degrees. The best thing, like the planner I now have, with the course I follow, I now have a planting calendar that I cannot share. But I used to have, and I use the Johnny Seed. Let me see if I can put it here. Johnny Seed planting calendar. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's the second link. Seed starting date calculator. Okay, so find out your last frost date. And this is what I used to use. So find out your last frost date. Give yourself a couple of days. So if my last frost used to be May 12th, I now use a couple of days later than that, May 18th, to buy me a couple of days, because, you know, year after year, I keep noticing that at the end of the month of May, I have a risk of frost. I have to figure out if I have to sow earlier my hot peppers, because there are certain types of peppers. They're like anum, and there's another one. There's one that has to be planted 1 or 2 weeks earlier, and most of them are hot peppers. I have to figure out if I am planting those this year, because I am limiting the amount of varieties that I'm growing. So that means, I did say this on the previous live, so I'm growing less with more specific varieties, but instead of having like quadrillion millions types of peppers and types of tomatoes, I'm narrowing down this year. So I have less tomato plants, I have less pepper plants. They're going to be spaced further apart, and I am concentrating on higher producing plants. So I'm hoping to have more with less and less work. That works. I still have onions in the ground. I planted a lot last year and they just didn't get big enough. Onions are biannual. So whatever you left in your garden, Marilyn, correct me if I'm wrong, they're going to go to seed this year. Because the ones I left, I forgot to remove some green onions in the garden. In this year, the year prior, and then this year, they went automatically to seed. So I'm hoping that the seed I left on the bunching onions that were there, they're going to resow themselves automatically in the spring. That would be nice, because I left them on the plant to see if they would grow. Before we move, I wanted to do a market garden and looked into starting one to grow from farmers market. I am in prime area and have market for it. I just have to get the garden areas right. I am growing market gardening style, not to sell, but to be more efficient. Hi, Darren. I'm guessing it's Darren, but hi also to where did the comment go? Bridget. I lost. Where did Darren go? Okay, there you are. I hope you're doing good. I hope also the gods were smiling on you. Today was a baking day. Delicious food, so I can't complain. Depend, it's like the start. Onions, some go to seed, some don't. Mine can't go to seed, but very late in the season. Okay. Hello from Florida. How's everyone doing tonight? Carlene, wasn't it your surgery not long ago? I keep forgetting. I hope today they were smiling. The gods on you. We don't want blood eagles. Dun dun dun. Okay, so some comments disappeared on me. I just want to make sure that I read you all. Okay, I read all of your comments. I have a couple of minutes left, so if any questions you want to ask, it's time. Nice, I'm happy that everything is going great. Surgery sometimes can be nerve-wracking. Okay. Do I have more questions? Or I'm going to let you guys go. I'm hearing some commotion downstairs and I'm going to go help out my husband. There must be a snowstorm coming. The kids were very, very, very vocal today. Waiting was, true. Waiting to not knowing. I hope you heal good and that you're doing better very soon. I'm going to wait one more minute. If I don't have questions, I'm going to let you guys go. It's like I'm going to play some music, but I can't. Okay, so no questions. I'm going to wish everyone a fantastic week. I have a video plan for Tuesday. I will see if I'm doing a live on Thursday, but I am planning on filming a pantry tour, maybe a freezer tour, and then I'm like kind of reorganizing my publishing schedule for you guys, but I will keep you in the loop. So have a fantastic week. Blessed, full of sun, not too cold, not too much snow. Maybe a bit of dirt, maybe a bit of seeds, and we'll chat later. Take care, everyone. Bye.